Partiamo.
Hello guys. By the way, how should we greet each other?
Semper Infidelis, as always.
Okay then, let's get started.
Sure.
In short, who are you and what do you do?
We are a black metal band formed way back in 1997 under the name Vox Vulgaris. We broke up for different reasons in 2000 and got back together in 2020 as Apocryphis, inspired by the desire to add our contribution to this genre, to this great genre. Old school black metal is our musical style that refers to the golden era of the early 90s. For further reading, anyone can visit our website apocryphis.com and find our full story under the About Us section. We also want to convey a message through black metal music that denounces the abuse of power by the higher ranks. People often blame political entities only. We want to shift focus to the ecclesiastical system as well, because it's part of the higher power ranks. This aspect is often overlooked.
Why is that? Can you explain why it is overlooked?
The ecclesiastical world has devised a cunning control system that silently sneaks into the unconscious minds of people from birth, presenting itself as a normal process tied to the will of God. Actually, it's a very intrusive yet subtle form of manipulation, which is why many fail to recognize it. Those who claim that the Church lacks influence are the perfect example of how effective the system has been. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible for this manipulation to continue unchallenged for over 2000 years.
Intriguing. I've really never thought about it before.
Like many people, as we said earlier.
I heard you released a new EP a few months ago called Your Church is Burning.
Yes, that's right. At the end of August, we released our first EP. It consists of 4 tracks. 2 of them are ours. The ones from the demo we recorded on cassette in the fall of 1998. The others are cover songs that were not selected at random. We chose Sadomasochistic by Carpathian Forest because it reminds us of our first active period and has a riff that left a lasting impact on us. On the other hand, we chose the iconic The Prodigy song Breathe because we didn't want both tracks to be black metal.
Why a song by The Prodigy in particular?
Because we found in Breathe a sound that could have been well suited for a cold and distorted vibe like ours. It was special and beautiful to work with. We just wished to know if the idea we had in mind could be realized, as it eventually was.
So, I understand that you are satisfied with the final result. Is it right?
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah. It has a strong drive and who knows, The Prodigy could like it, even though we didn't really imagine them listening to black metal.
I've noticed the artwork is high impact. How was it designed?
We took inspiration from the Notre Dame fire and we aimed to give the artwork a symbolic meaning. It could look like a predictable image connected to Satanism and associated with the glorious burnings of the Christian churches in Norway in the early 90s, since we play black metal. Actually, the meaning we assigned to it is that of the inevitable, slow-moving but increasing downfall of the clerical system.
We also refer to it in the EP title.
Oh yes, right. Even the title relates to this inescapable downfall. In fact, Your Church is Burning points out that the system is dying.
What do you enjoy about the musical aspect of your debut EP?
We enjoy the fact that when we listen to it, we hear what they truly wished to create. Your Church is Burning, though, will always be linked to a specific time. We were in the studio at the mixing phase, and at one point we looked at each other with great satisfaction because we had been waiting for that moment for over 20 years. That's the reason why we decided to title one of our 2 tracks on the EP, released as a single after 20 years of silence.
And is there anything you would change because you don't like it?
It's impossible to realize anything perfectly, you know? There are always potentials for improvement. The snare drum sound will certainly be improved because it personally doesn't reflect my taste. I'd like it to be more lively, with more overtones. I feel it is boxed in. You understand what I mean? It's low dynamic.
Okay, then. Are there any oddities related to the recording period?
Oh yes, there are a few.
Yes, I remember that time while we were recording the guitars, do you remember?
Yes.
We learned that someone committed suicide not far from the studio. People assumed that he was a peaceful man with no particular problems. He also sang in the parish choir. If he came to take his own life, I don't think he was as peaceful as they said. Obviously, he suffered from a great sorrow that neither hope nor the prayer of the church were able to heal. Even this incident reinforced our resolve to make people reflect on that system and its comforting words, which are not effective at solving difficulties.
Closet, tell me, what is the song that has engaged you the most?
Actually, the vocals were the aspect that engaged me the most, rather than the instrumental part. We chose to play Breathe because the Prodigy's release conveys a sense of hysteria that can even be perceived in black metal. Since hysteria is a characteristic with which I identify, I wanted to emphasize this feature in the vocals with various adjustments. However, sometimes the song was so fast that I couldn't even catch my breath.
And what about you, Lop?
I say that metal is a very challenging genre, unlike what people could imagine.
Where can your music be listened to and purchased?
Living in the digital era, we are available on major streaming and download platforms. You can also visit our website, apocryphis.com, to get to know us better. In the store section, aside from merchandise, you can purchase our music in both digital and physical formats.
Apocryphis, thank you very much for the interview and, at this point, we can greet with the simple Semper Infidelis.
Sure, Semper Infidelis.